Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games, the Week in Games. I'm back a little bit faster than I was last time, and that's probably a good thing. I'm going to try and keep a little better cadence in the next few weeks, so let's just get on to the news. Okay, well, we've entered into summer, or as I like to call it, board game backseat time, because this is the time when lots of people are heading out doing other things. Although it's still exciting to see that even in the summertime we're getting more and more gaming venues, more and more gaming conventions opening up, so even summer might not be resistant to the wiles of board gaming call. So that's a great thing. In real news, there's been some, like a digital, I'm actually going to go through digital entries. There's some digital games coming out, or board game translations to digital format coming up, that I think are pretty exciting. Istanbul, which is a game, I believe, by Rudiger Dorn, which is a sort of a strange layout tiles like a tic-tac-toe pattern and move around the tiles and collect things. I really enjoyed it. My wife felt it was pleasant enough to retry. But it's coming out for digital format. Terraforming Mars, you can already see it on Steam, and I'm sure it'll be on the digital platforms as well, for the mobile digital platforms as well. That's also exciting. Scythe, we already have the way to play it through Tabletop Simulator and some other stuff, but the actual real, hey, I get to play against AI opponents, that's coming up, and that's pretty exciting. And then finally, for those of us who jumped on the Massive Darkness game, which is, Massive Darkness is a dungeon crawler it's much simplified, and it's actually, I think it's very entertaining. It's almost like a Diablo, just go in, bash stuff, life is fun. A little more streamlined than some of the other dungeon crawlers, but it's coming out with a companion app that will handle all of your tableau management, which I think is pretty cool too. It's a little bit away, but it's still something cool. So, and that's it for the digital portion. Now, on the regular gaming front, there's a lot of conventions going on and a lot of Kickstarters going crazy. Skull Tales, I'm really looking forward to seeing that next year. That's one bad part of Kickstarter, is you're buying for a year away. And as someone who loves to grab stuff right away, I'm learning. It's almost like I'm sending off my coupons and waiting for the Ovaltine ring to arrive. But anyway, there is one game that's on Kickstarter that's coming out that's really exciting me. It's called Red Alert Space Fleet Warfare. Now, that's not related to Red Alert, the Command and Conquer series. This is a next evolution of the Command and Colors series. So anything Command and Colors, that intrigues me. The components look fantastic. It looks like, yay, Command and Colors in space, which you can always count me in on that. So, and with that, let's get to my question of the week. So every year we go camping, and by camping I mean I go to a lodge and stay there where there's heat and bathrooms and everything else. That's camping to me, yes. I wimped out years ago. But one of the things is, what games can I or should I take camping? Talking with a friend who's also going camping, what is there that's not just going to get ruined by the rain, by the campfires, not going to get s'more grease all over it? And that's a good question, because you want durable games without a lot of tiny components that are going to get lost in the needles and the shrubbery. So putting together an idea, it's the most important question of all is, which car do I put the board games in? Because you need to put, your camping gear in one car, and of course your board games in another car, so that as you caravan around, you'll, and keep that car with the board games in sight if you're not the one driving it. But definitely, probably, it's not too good to be greedy. I would take the larger car and put the camping equipment, and then take the smaller car and put the board games in, because I have some tips and techniques to help pack it all in. So the big thing is, are you going to stay in a hotel room? If you are, then try Splendor, King of Tokyo, Innovation, Seven Wonders Duel. There's a lot of flexibility when you're in a hotel room where there's a table and you can set games up and you don't have to worry about, stuff falling down. You just sweep the carpet at night as you're leaving and make sure there isn't a Seven Wonders gold piece there or something. If you're in a tent or you're having to deal with a picnic table with, you know, lots of spacing, you don't probably want something with a lot of components to lay down at all, like Avalon. If you have enough people, love letter games that you don't have very many components where the game is really the mental psyche of the players. Oceanos. That game's got such big pieces, I don't think they could fall through the cracks of a picnic table. So, and then if you're backpacking and going out really roughing it in the great outdoors, how about Bear Valley? Yeah, that's a game, and it's compostable too, so you can leave it behind. It'll be just as entertaining. And with that, the final tip is, as a big bonus to you, is that I'll do this. I will find big box games that have inserts or containers or stuff that lays out where there's a lot of dead space. And then I will pack game within game. I do the Russian doll stacking thing. And I've done this where I've actually packed like 4 boxes deep of games where you have a small game like, say, Love Letter, which is 13 cards in a small container. And then I'll pack that in, say, 11sies, which is a little bit larger of a thing. And then I'll pack that one in, say, King of Tokyo, which if you pull out all of the plastic insert, you can fit 6, 7 like smaller games in there. And then put that in one of the larger boxes, like, say, some of the war games I bring, where I can move the pieces around. So I was able to, in 2 laundry totes, carry 40 games camping at one point, and just exploded out, and its life is good. But definitely, the thing is, some people, they don't like to remove the component, but they like to keep everything trim and neat. For me, I would pull stuff out and I would just leave it on the game table, and when I got back, I would just reassemble things. It really doesn't take that long, but you'd be amazed how much stuff you can pack in games within games within games within games. So just some thoughts. And with that, let's get to our 3 games of the week. Alright, game number 1 is Guns and Steel. This is a small card game from a year ago. It's been tepidly received. People think, yeah, it's got some potential, but there seems to be a real strong emphasis that you have to go the military route or else you're not going to win. It was intriguing enough at the price point to try. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of, you lay out your cards almost Seven Wonders Duelish kind of, and we'll see. We will find out. I'm not going to rate it because I haven't played it. Next, I do love these. I really do love these. For the simple mechanism, it's very clever. I mean, in the end, the actual way that you go through these puzzles over 60 minutes is, I don't know, it's just, I'm not good at puzzles, but I eventually get them, and I probably take more hints than anybody else on the planet with these, with the companion app that lets you kind of give me a hint, go to this, because you need a phone or something. But this might not be a bad one for taking camping too, if you have a group of people and 60 minutes to spare some evening when the wolves haven't gotten you yet. But this one interests me because Wizard of Oz, hey, cool, I love the themes that they've come out with, and I think there's 8 or 9 of these now. And even though they're about 11, you can get them for about $11 a pop. So $11 an hour, but you can pass them on to other people and say, hey, play this game and whatever. They have value. You just have to pass it along like a good civic student. And finally, Dungeon Alliance just arrived. Now, this is one by a designer named Andrew Parks. I have not really enjoyed a lot of Andrew Parks stuff, to be honest. I find them serviceable games. Pretty straightforward. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, I could have made this. I get it. But he's grown and evolved a bit. He did the expansion he worked on Star Trek Frontiers, which is Mage Knight from Vlada Shavatil. And he did a good job on that. I thought that, the two together somehow, some way. And so this was an intriguing one to me. And as I watched some videos and investigated, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and give this a try. And I'm glad I did. I am through one of the first solo kind of ventures with it. But I can already see that it's sort of a streamlined Mage Knight. It's almost like Massive Darkness meets Mage Knight, to be honest with you. I think there's some very clever things about it, but it stays true enough to the simplicity of play that I think that it has a lot of room to grow. I think I could play this, and I think there should be, this is one where I could definitely see expansions coming out to add even more. I'm not entirely convinced of some, the paint it's okay. I would prefer something more crafted, but then that's what Gloomhaven's for. So that's my 3 games of the week, and let's get into Tim's Tantrum. Get off my land. I'm pretty upset. I tried really hard to come up with something to be angry about this week, and I just couldn't. Others? Come on. Feed me a tantrum. Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. That's all I got this week. Thanks for joining in, and we will see you next time on Harebrained Games.